So what is the optimal timing for a stock Predator 212? I mean, every one of these Predators is a little bit different from one another, but generally they come with around, I don't know, 22 to 25 degrees timing stock, give or take. So is the factory stock timing setting the best, or would advancing the timing on a stock Predator add performance? So I have this stock Predator over here that's completely stock except for the governor bypass, but other than that, it's completely stock. So it even still has the governor wheel inside the crankcase. So I'm gonna install this engine on this Bonanza bike. So I'll take the bike out for a 0 to 30 and top speed to get a baseline on the bike with a stock Predator 212. And then I will add this Pulse Karts adjustable coil and timing bracket to the stock Predator 212. Advancing timing with one of these is a lot easier than pulling the flywheel and adding timing keys. And then I'll take the bike back out and we'll see if we gain any performance by advancing the timing on a stock Predator 212. Clutch is stuck on here. And nothing a puller can't fix. These old school mini bike frames are kind of cool. Check out how many mounting points there are on the engine mount. Look at all those mounting points you have on the engine plate. And you can mount all kinds of stuff on here. So I have another video with installing one of these brackets. So it's a pretty easy install. And what's cool about it, I already have all the governor removed off of here. My simplified throttle linkage, so the governor is totally bypassed. Pop all the stuff off here in one piece. Use my earthquake on here. It makes quick work of these flywheels. Yeah, make things a lot easier on myself having that off there. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like I've did this before. So now I will mark these. So I'll measure 1/4 of an inch off of one of these bosses here. So sometimes I'll use my Dremel tool on here, which makes quick work of this stuff because it's so light. So you gotta definitely be careful. And I always make sure I measure twice and then cut once. That way I don't accidentally take too much off of here. But this time around, I think I'll try my drill and see if it'll work with my cutoff wheel. Man, that was easy. So there's one. Grab that other one real quick. Man, that was easy. Also, you can take one of these flat disc wheels and grind these off slowly, and it makes quick work of them too. So either way, I usually just use this to clean it up, but you can use it to do the whole thing, and it makes super quick work of it. I think I'll throw a little thread locker on these to bolt that plate on there. One thing I noticed on these, when you cut these bosses down, on some of these blocks, you have to shorten these bolts just a little bit with that grinding wheel because the hole is not that deep. I mean, I could re-tap the hole a little bit deeper, but it's easier just to shorten the bolts just a little bit. So this is gonna be a pretty trick Hemi block. So now I'll throw the coil on there, and it comes with these spacers that you use behind the coil. So on these bolts here, I had to shorten them up a little bit too, or you can use washers behind them. But either way, because if the bolt's too long, you'll hit the plate back here in the back. because you only have that much thickness there with threads, and if the bolt goes past that, you're going to hit that plate. So I had to shorten it up just a little bit. Anyway, let me gap this thing now. Okay, so I got this gapped at 30 because of the stock flywheel. So I have it set at stock timing, whatever that is, 24 degrees or so. So if you look on here, every mark on this bracket is 1 degree. So as you bring the bracket down, you advance the timing. So right now I have it set stock at about what, 24 degrees or so, give or take. So now I'll throw this back together and throw it on the bike. So now I'll take it out for a 0 to 30 and then top speed with this setup. I'll change the timing in maybe a couple degree increments to see which setting is the best. And then when I find out which setting is the best or the quickest from 0 to 30, then I'll do another top speed run to see if it makes a difference in top speed, which I don't really know if it will because the engine's pretty much governed by valve springs right now anyway because it's stock. But I'm sure the timing will make a difference in 0 to 30 for sure. It'll make it quicker. Maybe. And then one other thing, I'm gonna have to use my secret gas tank filling method on this bike because, well, luckily the tank's full, but if you look, the gas tank or the gas cap won't come off because it's right next to the frame. But that's okay, I got a full tank. I mean, that'll last for a while. Who needs gas anyway? Gas is overrated. And as always, I'm gonna use my draggy performance meter to measure the 0 to 30 and top speed times. That way we get really accurate times.
Oh, I forgot, I need to adjust this brake. This thing doesn't have any brakes. That's okay. Brakes are overrated. Well, okay, maybe not. Yeah, I need brakes. Let me run this down here real quick just to kind of get some heat into this thing because we want the same temperature every time. We want the oil nice and thin and hot. Yeah, I definitely think I'll be able to get the top speed on this just coming back up the hill. It gets the speed quick. It tops out quick with this gearing. And then the stock valve springs. Now that I got some heat into this engine, let me set the draggy on the bike. Maybe get a better connection that way. 0 to 30 with a totally stock Predator 212 with a governor bypassed and the stock timing. So the first 0 to 30 is 5.23. Let me try that again just to make sure that I get a nice consistent 0 to 30 for a baseline. Yeah, this is gonna top out quick. See how close I can get to 5.23. 0 to 30. Second attempt. Alright, there's 30. So for the second 0 to 30, a 5.34, so it's pretty consistent. So now let me run it back up the street here real quick and I'll grab that top speed. I'll just do the top speed runs running up the hill. As long as I do the same road or run on the same road, it doesn't matter. As long as it's consistent. And it'll top out really quick here with the 12-tooth clutch. I mean, we're valve spring limited right there. The top speed is 36.01. Valve spring limited, you can tell. So now I'll throw a couple degrees timing in this.
Okay, so we got a 0 to 30 at 5.23, so low 5-second range. And then the second one was really close to that, the second 0 to 30 run. So we're good and consistent. And then a top speed of 36.01. I mean, I could gear it for more speed, but I mean, it's a good gear to test with. I can be really consistent with this gear. So now I'll throw a couple degrees timing in it and we'll see what it does. And I only have a couple bolts in the blower housing, so it's nice and easy. And no kill switch, so there's nothing to unplug. And drop the coil down just a couple of degrees. Okay, so I got 2 degrees dialed in there and the same coil gap. I don't know if you can see the marks up there on that bracket, but it's dropped down 2 marks, 2 degrees. So approximately what, 26 or so, give or take, on a stock Predator. Figure 24 and a couple added. So I got a total of what, 26 degrees now, give or take. I added 2 degrees, so now we'll take the rocket ship back out and see if I can beat, what was it, 5.23 and 36.01. I'm not sure about the top speed because, like I said, it's valve spring limited. I mean, it's only going to rev so high, but I'm sure the 0 to 30 will probably change up a little bit. We'll see.
So we'll see if this rocket ship is going to make me need to put on some extra safety equipment, because this thing might be a rocket now. Feels pretty good. So we're lighting the fire a couple degrees earlier. See if I can get this draggy hooked up again. Yeah, you can always tell the lights blinking on there. 0 to 30. 2 degrees extra timing on the Predator 212. It seems pretty quick, so we dropped a lot. 4.93, so it dropped more than a couple tenths. So that's really good. Let me see if I can back that up. 3 tenths is pretty good. You can definitely feel that. It feels kind of snappy. It's crazy what just 2 degrees of timing will do. Lighting that fire a couple degrees earlier. Okay, second attempt, 0 to 30, 26 degrees timing. Oh yeah, consistent. 4.90, so it's really consistent. So it definitely gained 3 tenths, which is quite a bit quicker on the bike. So see if we can beat 36 miles an hour. We'll see if we can beat 36 on the way back up the hill here. Oh, I did a little bit. Yeah, so it has a little bit more top speed, slightly.
So the bike is quite a bit quicker. It gained about 3 tenths from 0 to 30 and a little bit of top speed. So far, stock timing, we did 5.23 0 to 30 and 36.01. Then I added 2 degrees and we dropped like 3 tenths. So it's definitely quicker. It feels a little bit quicker on the bike. And then gained a little bit of top speed, 36.34 coming up the hill. So adding 2 degrees timing to your stock, totally stock Predator 212 will definitely add some performance. So now I'll add a couple more and we'll see what happens. Yeah, so that's a pretty good result with just 2 degrees timing. So now we'll bump it down 2 more degrees. Okay, so we have 4 degrees more timing dialed in there. Okay, so now we're at 28 degrees approximately timing, I added 4 more degrees, or 4 degrees over what the stock Predator comes with. So now I gotta beat what, 490, which is cool because the bike dropped down into the 4s from 0 to 30. So 4.90 and then what, 36.34 top speed. We'll see if we can beat that.
So with that extra timing, we got a little bit higher idle, of course. Feels pretty snappy. Zero to 30. Let me see if I can beat 490. Yeah, I don't know. Uh-oh, lost the draggy. Man, I hate that when we lose the draggy connection. So I gotta try that again. All right, 4 degrees extra timing on the Predator 212, 0 to 30. So now we're at 514. They might have slowed it down a little bit. Let's see, let me back that up. I mean, it feels really good at first, but then once you get up there in the RPM band, it kind of cuts out just a little bit, or it feels like it. I mean, right here it feels great. Let me see if I can back that time up. I like getting 2 times that are really close to each other to be really consistent. All right, second attempt, 4 degrees extra timing. I felt really good on that one. A 510, I mean, it's really consistent. 514 and a 510. I think it slowed it down a little bit. Let me do it one more time to make sure. So we're already going down the other side, where 4 degrees is maybe a little bit too much. So maybe 2 or 3 degrees extra timing and you'll gain performance. And quite a bit too, actually. 3/10 is pretty quick. 3/10 quicker. And of course it's with the stock cam and everything else. Okay, third attempt. Predator 212 with 4 degrees extra timing. Oh yeah, it's in the 5s again, so it definitely slowed it down 3 times in a row. 5.12, I mean, this thing is totally consistent. A 514, a 510, and a 5.12. So yeah, for sure slowed it down. We'll see what it does for top speed. It's a little bit faster, 37.71.
So now we're getting into the trade-offs. It's a lot faster, or quite a bit faster actually, and just a speck slower or less quick from 0 to 30. It's so cool, this thing is totally consistent. So last time around with 2 degrees extra timing, we did 4.90 and then 36.34. Then I added 2 more degrees timing, and this thing was totally consistent. A 5.12, a 5.14, and a 5.10. It dropped what, 2/10, say 4.90 to 5.10, and that's good data, or good data, because like I said, it's totally consistent. And then we gained a pretty good amount of top speed, 37.71. So it seems like just a couple degrees extra timing, maybe 2 or 3 degrees extra timing, depending on what Predator you get, because like I said, they're all a little bit different from one another. But on this one, a couple degrees extra is like the sweet spot. It was a little bit faster and quite a bit quicker, 3/10 quicker. So now I'll just go ahead and add a couple more and we'll see what it does. So that's pretty cool. Got a little bit faster, but slowed down a little bit with its quickness. So we're moved up 6 marks. So we're at 29 degrees timing. Okay, so we're what, at 29 degrees timing right now. So now let's see if I can beat, what was it? The last test was 5:10. Was the quickest 0 to 30, which most likely it'll get slower now because we're kind of going down the other side. And then I'm interested to see if the top speed gets any better. Who knows?
29 degrees. Maybe if I threw some good gas in here. .29 degrees timing on the stock Predator 212. 0 to 30. It seemed like when it first took off, it was kind of slow, but once I got on it, it was pretty quick. A 5:30, so it kind of slowed it down. Okay, 0 to 30, 29 degrees timing, Predator 212. A 5.65. Okay, let me run a top speed, see if I can beat 37.71. Almost 38.
So the total results, stock 0 to 30, 5.23, and then top speed 36.01, added 2 degrees timing, and that was the third mark up on the bracket. We got 490, 0 to 30, so it gained a lot of quickness with just a few degrees timing, or a couple degrees extra, and then 36.34, it gained a little bit of top speed. Then I bumped it up, what, a couple more marks on the bracket, and then the bike did really consistent times, 5.12, 5.14, and 5.10. So it lost a little bit of quickness and then gained a pretty good amount of top speed. And then the last time around, I added 29 total, which was the 6th mark on the bracket. And it seemed like it slowed down a little bit, 5.30. So the slowest time out of all the tests. And then the fastest top speed, 37.89. So a stock Predator 212 definitely likes more timing for sure, because every test was quicker than stock except for the last test. So if you grabbed a 3 or 4 degree timing key and threw in there, you definitely would have more performance. But I like using the bracket because as I modify the engine, if I'm running one of those cast flywheels with only 18 degrees, I can advance the timing quite a bit with that bracket. I don't have to pull the flywheel off every time. Or if I want to change up fuels, so that bracket is nice. Oh, and another cool thing, I still have gas left. So I can probably ride this bike around another, what, 35, 40 miles without having to put gas in it before I have to take off the gas tank to add gas.